excited and happy and grateful to be here. How are you? Fantastic. You know how it's going to go, right? You've heard stories. Okay. Welcome. Connie, thank you for being here. Roosevelt, thank you. Rick, pleasure. Michelle, twice in a row, right? Last year, this year. Sam, welcome. Good morning, Maureen. Eva.
Yes.
Michelle, Missy, Nathan. Nice to see you. Susan. Lovely.
No.
I know. It's Diversa. Diversa. Jack. Angela. How are you? Kat. Kevin. With a B and an I. Hi. What's your name? Erica. Let me see your name tags, everybody. Mauricia. Jenny Lee. Keisha.
All right.
Janetta. Everybody else? Did we get everybody? Very packed. We were in a couple sessions already. God bless you all. Thank you all for being here. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for being here. You all ready to have some fun? Yes. Yes? Okay. But I want to ask you to do a few things, okay? Yes, I do have slides, but I'm also going to share a story with you. Let me give you a little bit of background about myself. But before I do, how many of you are wearing a watch?
On the wrong arm.
Are you still wearing it on the wrong arm?
Yeah.
You switched it over. How many of you have switched it over already back again? Back to where the normal way. It's very uncomfortable, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. I still have mine on the right hand. And I wear these beads, and so I switch those over, and it's very uncomfortable for me. But I've chosen to embrace that. And did Jeff do an amazing job?
Yes.
Was that a fantastic start to day 2?
Yes.
I love it. Are you all having a great time here at our NCSA conference?
Yes.
It is amazing. I am so thankful for the opportunity. Bill and the team have done just a wonderful, wonderful job. And my goal, I'm going to tell you in a minute what my goal is, but I'll tell you a couple points about what we're going to talk about. I need to get my train of thought. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. I got it. Okay. My name is Christoff J. Wyman. No, I don't go by Chris. So if you call me Chris, I don't hear that. I only hear Christoff. So I'm an author, a speaker, obviously a trainer. My first book is called Getting to Wow. Everybody wins with 5-star service. Raise your hand if you believe that. Everybody wins with 5-star service. And I'm not going to ask you to have to use your left hand. You can raise whichever hand you want. Okay? My second book, which is on pre-release, so you could order both of them, is called I Am the Customer Experience, Engineering the Emotional Journey. So it's really, one of the last slides, I had to slip out towards the very, very end, but one of the last slides that Jeff was talking about was the difference, or the kind of the leap or the evolution from customer service to customer experience. And as I was writing the second book, it was only just in the last few days, it's almost finished, and I was realizing it really is. It's going from this to this. And oh my gosh, like it's so interesting and amazing how, we listen to all these different speakers, and we're all saying very much the same thing, but in different ways, right? And hopefully it resonates with us because, we're going to get value from one speaker. You're going to get more value from this particular speaker over here, and you're going to get more value from another person, right? But all together, we're all learning together. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I will tell you ahead of time that there are prizes. Just saying. There's prizes, okay? And tomorrow, I'm going to have a big raffle, okay? So come and see me at our author table after this session. I have to find a bowl or whatever for your business cards, but I have a big raffle to give away in addition to prizes for today. Okay, I Am the Customer Experience is what we're talking about, and I'm so happy you're here. Are you happy you're here?
Yes.
Woo! I love it. Delivering wow customer service all the time, every time. This is not the right one. Ha ha! This is not the right one, but it's okay. This is not the right one.
You need a different flash drive?
I need a different PowerPoint.
Okay, we have time.
This is not the right one. Because it's very important, because I modified my slides. Could somebody run and get Allison and tell her, actually, you know what?
I'm happy to do it. Except who is
Actually-
Allison?
I know.
Actually,
You know where she's at? She's in the customer.
Yep.
Hold on, I think I have it right here. Yesterday it was loaded onto the computer. I think it's right here. Who is tech savvy?
Allison or no Allison? Still Allison? Yes?
I don't know. This is a good, I like it. It's a great opportunity. Right? Is real life? Yes? I mean, have we ever experienced this before? We got it all planned out. There we go. It's this. It is. Fantastic. What's it going to do that thing?
There you go.
Woo-hoo. Slideshow. How's everybody feeling? And you're always saying, well, it's the same thing. It is not. I guarantee it. I should not walk away with their flash drive. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. We're together now. Okay. I am the customer experience. Believe me, we're going to get into a flow very soon. Okay, thank you. I think we have it.
Oh.
It was a different PowerPoint. It wasn't the same one that's loaded as yesterday. But now it's not reading it.
It's not reading the power.
Well, I'm doing it off the flash drive. Yesterday we loaded it onto the laptop, remember?
Yeah, there's one on the desktop.
But that's not the correct one.
Do you have the flash drive with the new one on it?
This is that. It was loaded off of this one.
Oh, no, that's your clicker.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's why it's not.
Yeah, that's the.
There you go.
So let me tell you, there are some things I believe, I am confident, and I know I'm very good at.
And this ain't one of them.
No, it's not. And I readily accept that. Okay.
So is
This is the correct one.
This is the correct one.
Oh, this is the correct one.
Yes,
okay.
I put it in. It's from my flash drive. Yes.
Okay, now try it.
Well, okay, yes. See, they all have to communicate to each other.
There you go.
And it took him less than 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wes.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Allison. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm a father, I'm a daddy, I'm a grandfather, I'm a puppy daddy. How many of you have puppy furry babies? Keep your hands up. They're awesome, aren't they? I mean, real kids are cool, but puppy babies are cool. And I really believe that their whole goal and purpose in life is to bring us joy. I really believe that. And most puppies, or animals that share a home with us, if they're treated well, then they know what their purpose is and they execute it very well. What does that have to do with customer service? I don't know. We can probably extrapolate every point into customer service, right? So Lily is the white one. First of all, my wife is Michelle. She's an ICU supervisor at one of the major hospitals in Las Vegas. So we're always talking about our industries. I come from hospitality, hotel, and restaurant. Done a lot of different things in my life. So I always come back to service and sales. Some people think it's two different departments, but of course we know it's not, right? Lily is the white one.
Shih Tzu.
Half Shih Tzu, Shih Tzu Havanese. So she's a Havashit. Carly is the brown one. She's a Yorkie Havanese. And then there's Bruno. He rules the home. 3 pounds Chihuahua. I'm a student of personal development. I'm a pesca vegan. And why does that matter? It doesn't matter. It's just getting to know each other, right? But my whole goal is to be a positive influence and a channel of, positivity and a blessing. And if I've accomplished that, then I'm happy. Certainly I am on a trek to create massive abundance, but that's secondary. This is my son at the top, and my daughter at the bottom. So that is Tobias in these pictures, baby, and that's my daughter's son. She made my grandfather a little over about a year and a half ago. And then Josiah, he's very competitive. So he and his wife had a baby very soon after my daughter did. And that's Gideon. They're not twins, it's just a split picture of the same, that's the same kid. Somebody said, oh, well, they look alike. It's the same child. That's Gideon. I love my life. How many of you love your life? Like you're just that. Oh my gosh. And it's so cool. To be up here, if you sit there and you're receiving value, it's so much even greater standing up here because I get so much value and feeding off of your energy and your enthusiasm, and I am happy that you're here. Okay, just some of the clients that I've worked with, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's not the point. I believe that investing in yourself today will pave the way for your greatness tomorrow. So I really want to thank you all for being here, for making a commitment to be here. I don't care what position you have in your company, whether you think you are a manager, supervisor, a leader, a boss, or whatever, you are a leader. The fact that you are here, that you are at this conference. And then thank you for taking the time and making the decision to sit in my session and extending that graciousness to me. And I hope I deliver. So I have 4 goals and intentions today. The first one is to inspire you. How many of you are willing to be inspired? Yes?
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay. All right, we're getting there. Second one is to challenge you. Usually the inspire is the very nice, positive one, and challenge I usually get this, right? So, and like in connection with Jeff, he was talking about feeling uncomfortable, so kind of the same thing. I do want you to feel somewhat uncomfortable. Not so uncomfortable that you say, ugh, I wouldn't go see that guy again. The third one is to equip and empower you. My goal is that when you walk out from here, you have at least 1 or 2 tools or some nugget that you feel equipped with. And maybe it's just actually reminding you of something that you knew before. Yes? You okay? You're willing to be equipped, empowered?
Yeah.
We're open to it at least, expecting it, okay? And the fourth thing is, and here's where we start now, those of you who have heard me before, my fourth goal is to motivate you. And when I say motivate, Mary, I'm not just talking about, woo! Yeah! Motivate! Polly, up here! Yes, county, woo! Yes! High energy, everybody! And this side of the room, too! Come on, everybody! Air high five, air high five, air high five, air high five. I'm not talking just about that kind of motivation. I'm talking about the motivation where you actually are motivated to do what? To be inspired. To apply. Inspired to apply the things that we talk about. Are you willing?
Yes.
Absolutely. Are you willing?
Yes.
Okay. Because if not, if we don't accomplish at least some of these things, then we just had some fun together. Which is okay, but I don't think that's the only reason that we're here, right? Okay, so that was my part. Here's your part. Hula dance, right? So everybody stand up. No, I'm kidding. We're going to do that in a second. But we have some stuff coming in. Okay, we've got to get on the time going. But it's just laying the groundwork, right? Okay, so I'm going to ask you 2 things. Number 1, if you would be open-minded. Are you willing to be open-minded?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and I'm asking not only just for me in this session, but I'm going to say for the rest of the conference. Every time you sit down in front of somebody, whether it's a speaker at a breakout or a keynote, or just somebody that you're talking with, having lunch with, be open-minded. And I think we've alluded to this already before. You know, there's so much value and content and experience in this conference. And it's not just those who happen to be doing a breakout, you know? So I really want to encourage us to be of that mindset, of open-minded. And the sign of being open-minded is open body language. All of you have open body language, which is awesome. If it gets cold in here, don't do this, stand up and do this. I would rather you do this and pay attention than to be like this. Yeah, I'm open-minded. I'm paying attention. No, you're not, because this is a physical shutdown to the mental connection. Right? Do you mind if I take this off? You all know my name?
Yes.
Okay, stop. All right, your part. Open-minded. And number 2, participate. You willing to do that?
Yes.
Then here we go. Okay, here's what I believe. I believe that every guest deserves to receive what? 5-star service. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Absolutely. Every guest, not just VIPs. I come from hotel and restaurant, and we were talking about, we have VIPs today. And when it's a little bit sarcastic. You all know, you probably will get to know me. But when I was working in restaurants, and the manager or the owner would say, okay, here's what's going on, and man, by the way, we have VIPs tonight. And you know what I would say? I know we do, because we're open. Yes, we do, because we're open. And we have to get into that mindset that everybody is a VIP. Otherwise, we're just reserving that excellent service, that 5-star service, that wow, whatever word you want to call it, for those special people. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't treat those people who perceive themselves and want us to treat them as VIPs, but not just for that group of people. Do you agree? Yes. Okay. Second, I believe that every service professional, raise your hand if you're a service professional, please. Awesome. We all are. Every service professional, if we have the right internal components, that's super important, and then we're given the proper tools and training, we can consistently deliver wow service, 5-star service, red carpet service, whatever word you want to use. Do you agree?
Yes.
That's my foundation. Because if we don't start from there, then all this other stuff we can't apply. Right? Okay, here we go. And here's what I do. I inspire and equip people to passionately deliver wow service, or at least that's what I aspire to. Sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I'm not. But most of the time I am. Okay, my conviction. And I know that Jeff kind of talked a little bit differently about but I still believe this. There's absolutely nothing that will have a greater effect upon the success or failure of your business than the quality of service, or we can extrapolate and build upon it, or the quality of experience that you and your team deliver to your customers. So this is foundational. This is where we start. Do you all agree with this?
Yes.
Yes. Am I telling you something you don't already know?
Yeah.
No, but you're okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Write this down. And of course you do get the PDF. We know that. But there are certain, I know what's going to happen. That PDF, less than 20% of you are going to open it up and look at it when you get home, that flash drive. It's just the way that things are. It's an 80-20 rule. So during our time together, there's going to be times where I'm just going to say, you're going to want to write this down. This is one of them. Write this down. 5 stars equals 5 R's. 5 stars equals 5 R's. Actually, say it with me. 5 stars.
5 stars
equals 5 R's. Want to know what the 5 R's are? Number 1, repeat customers. You deliver 5-star service, you will get repeat customers, 5 of them. Repeat customers. Number 2, what do repeat customers do?
Money.
Bring somebody with them. Or refer somebody with them. So number 2 is referrals. Repeat customers. Number 2, referrals. Number 3, after they've had a great time, what do they often do? It begins with an R.
Return.
Ken, well, that would be repeat. Ken is Ron is representing for Ken a company called Sotellus. What do they do? Reviews. So repeat customers, referrals, reviews. That in turn affects. That's number 5. Very good. Most business owners will put that as number 1, right? I put it as last. Number 4 is reputation. Increase in the positive reputation. And number 5 is revenue. 5 stars equals 5 R's. What's interesting is as those all increase, then the thing in the middle, that's the 6th R, deepens the relationships. The relationships between customer and service professional business, the relationships internally between colleagues, the relationships outside to the community. All right, 3 main points. There are 3 main points, and I'm going to tell you a story. Would it be okay if I share a story with you that happened now 72 hours ago? Yesterday was the first time that I told it, and it only happened 48 hours ago. I had never shared it before. It went okay. We'll see how it goes today. Write this down, please. 3 main points. Number 1, set the tone. Say it with me.
Set the tone.
Well, say it with me. Set the tone. You're all too fast. I love it. You're leading me. Set the tone. What do you think set the tone means? Anybody? Roosevelt.
Preparing your foundation.
What she
You're
said.
preparing your foundation.
Preparing your foundation for delivery. Awesome. Anybody else? Polly.
The feeling that you put out is what the guest receives. So you are.
I did tell you that there are prizes, right? Got my eye on you. I like that. Anybody else? Set the tone. First impressions.
Lead and experience.
Lead and experience. Right? Okay, very good. It's all about all those things. The first impressions. When does the first impression begin? Immediately of what?
Contact.
Immediately upon contact.
Eyesight.
On eyesight.
On eyesight.
How about when they call in the company? Okay. How about when they go and look at your website? Okay. How about when they drive by your place of business? How about when they read your reviews online? What if they watch a video review? All those things can be a first impression, so it could be much earlier than you and I meeting each other, right? Set the tone. Say it with me. Set the tone.
Set the tone.
Let's say it together. Set the tone. Love it. Thank you so much. Number 2, write this down, please. Read your guests. And of course, we could say, so in the hotel and restaurant industry, we call them guests. Your customers can be customers. They can be clients. My wife's in the hotel or hospital arena, so her customers are patients and families. If you're a teacher, students, everybody has customers, right? I'm just using read your guests because guest is short and easier to say than read your customers. Say it with me. Read your guests.
Read your guests.
I love it. Thank you so much. READ is an acronym. R, recognize. Recognize where they're at, recognize their needs, their attitudes, their expectations. E is engage. You engage based upon that information that you are taking in. But when we read our customers, a lot of times what people do is they read at the beginning and they make an assumption and assessment, and then we base all of our conversation, connection, communication, interaction based upon that initial read. But it has to be an ongoing read. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So read, R, recognize. E, engage. A, adapt and adjust. We adapt and adjust our approach and our service to them based upon the information that not only did we get at first impression, but throughout the time that we are interacting with them. And then D is
Deliver.
Deliver what?
Wow.
Yes! Deliver the wow. Whatever that is. Deliver that experience that you have designed, that you have orchestrated, like Mark talked about yesterday. Orchestrating that experience. Okay. Second one is what?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Second main point?
Read your
Read your
guests.
yes. So there's 4 subparts of the thing. I didn't mean to confuse anybody. Third one is, this is a
Show.
This is a what?
Show.
This is a show. This is a show. This is a show. Hi, this is a show. What does this is a show mean to Versa?
Putting on a production.
Putting on a production. What does that mean?
Or putting on, making an experience.
Making an experience. I like it. Very good. Anybody else?
Entertaining.
Entertaining. Yes. Others? Making a memory.
I was just saying delivering the service.
Delivering the service. Also, this is a show is being mindful that we're always on stage. We're always on stage. We're always on stage. And you don't mind if many of my examples come from the hotel and restaurant arena, do you? Because that's what I know well. So a lot of times, somebody's in the restaurant and they're like, well, I haven't clocked in yet. Or I just got off. I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. You're on stage. This is a show. It's always a show, and you're always on stage, even after you leave the building, right? So you're always on stage, and realizing that we are always the representative. We are the face of our business, and it doesn't matter what our position is. It doesn't matter what our title is, because everybody is the face of the business. Because when some customer has an interaction with you, and they say, that was a great dinner, that was a great experience, what are they talking about? Are they talking about the ambiance, the decor, the accoutrements, the location? Are they even talking about the food? To a degree. But if they say, my wife works in the hospital. If they had a successful, you know what a lot of nurses consider a successful hospital stay for a patient? They went home alive. They went home alive. Patient lives. And in fact, they even have a phrase for some who are maybe a little bit, maybe they should, go to another career or something, or they've been there a little bit too long. They will say things like, well, did they die? Mm-hmm. Did they die? Hopefully in our businesses, we're beyond just, well, they didn't die, so, why are they complaining, right? Hopefully we're elevated beyond that, right? So this is a show, but it's a show. But my point is when there's any kind of interaction, so if we talk about the hospital and somebody says, oh, we had a great time, not a great time at the hospital, but, we were very happy with the service, what are they talking about? They're usually talking about the nursing team, right? They're not talking about, the bed, the room, the medicine. Well, they might be talking about the medicine. That might influence their opinion. But usually it's the staff, right? So you are the face of that business. All right, everybody, I want to invite you to please stand. No, we're not done yet. I'm just asking if you would stand. We're going to have a little exercise. Are you with me?
Yes.
Oh gosh, 30%. That's okay. I'll work hard. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We're going to remember this very easily. Okay. So, and I am getting better at rhythm. So I almost caught myself saying I'm not. But I'm not. And I'm not going to dance. This is all on film. So, we're going to remember. What's the first point? Number 2?
Read your guess.
I love it. Number 3?
This is a show.
Okay, we're going to do it like this. The last word is on the clap. Okay, so we go, set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. Awesome. You're awesome. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Take a seat. And why did I ask you to do that? To help remember, create a habit. Now you need to do this for 21 days. When you wake up in the morning, set the tone, read your guess, this is a show. But actually, if you internalize that, it's a very simple framework, right? But when you're engaging with your guests throughout the day, with your customers, your clients, and you have those 3 main simple points, how do you think everything is going to go? Not smooth, we don't know, right? But at least we're setting the tone. And there's a lot more, that in itself is like a whole half a session. We also talk about setting the tone for ourselves personally. Like personally myself, I set the tone. I journal every morning before I do anything else except use the bathroom. But that's how I start my day. I do meditation. I write affirmations. I listen to positive declarations, positive affirmations while I'm showering. And so I set the tone. Raise your hand if you know how your day's going to go. 3 of us.
It's always a surprise.
Oh, really?
It's always a good surprise.
Maybe I need to ask in a different way. But ask me, Christoff, do you know how your day's going to go? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I'm not saying that I know everything that's going to happen, but I do know how my day is going to go. You know why? Because I determined it. And we all have that ability. And we know that our thoughts create things, right? And whatever we set as our tone, like you said earlier, the energy or the emotion that we send out to our customers, to our clients, that's going to come back. Maybe they don't always get it, but we should be the one, like Mark said yesterday, to be the first greeter. Don't wait for them to, like here. I call downstairs. Hi, this is Byron. I say hi. This is Byron. Hi. Okay, yes, hi. Hey, this is Christoff. I'm in room such and such. But why is that not the normal pattern? It's amazing to me, and it's not just, okay. I'm going to share a story with you. Are you willing? Are you ready? Are you good?
Absolutely.
How much time do we have? Hour and a half. This is my story. It has to do with that. I almost didn't get on the plane. Okay, before we get to my story, I need your input, please. So you already have the question. How many of you traveled to be here? All of us, right? Because we don't live in the hotel, right? How many of you traveled by plane?
Yeah.
Almost everybody? Almost everybody. Okay, so when you go to the airport or you're planning a trip or you are going to fly or you are now in that process, how do you feel? I want your input. How do you feel?
Antsy.
Pardon me?
Antsy.
Antsy.
Excited.
Excited.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Why overwhelmed?
Because you don't know how to, turbulence and
Okay.
things that can get in the way of getting there.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Tired.
Tired?
I was 6 a.m. I got out of the house at 4.
Awesome. Yeah. And something else? Focused. Something else. Anybody feel stressed?
Yes.
Anybody feel, in addition to anxious? Yes? Can we all see this, or is this way too far away?
Good.
Anticipating.
Anticipating. Is it? Is anticipating good or bad? I mean, positive or negative? What else? Rushed. You're all filling in the blanks of my story.
Hurry up and wait.
What else?
Sometimes hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. So hurry, and with that we become somewhat impatient, perhaps. Yes or no?
Yes.
There's no right or wrong answers, but we've all experienced these things, right? I'm sure there's many more. Okay, so here's my story. Oh, what happened to the other slide? Doesn't matter. So this is the picture of my story. Okay, so I had to be at the airport. My flight was 12:50. I've been very busy. I did not pack the night before. Usually if I'm traveling, if my wife is not working, I prefer if she's actually home and kind of encouraging me to get packed. So she has to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, walks out of the house at 5:40, and she says, Christoff, before you do anything else, make sure you go pack. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. The plane leaves at 12:50. Gates close at 12:40. How many hours is that? A lot of time, right?
Not quite enough.
Not quite enough, apparently. And then I got an inexpensive ticket on a certain airline. Oh, it's right there. That is going through growing pains. And then, you have to purchase your bag in addition to your seat. So the $400 flight became $650, whatever. So I also determined, so I bring a lot of clothes with me. I kind of, I'm more like a girl than I think many girls are when it comes to that. When my wife and I travel together, and I hear this from a lot of ladies, they say, okay, it's going to be 4 days. I'm going to wear this Monday day. This is what I'm going to wear Monday night. This I'm going to wear too, right? How many of you plan and prepare like that? I don't. I look at everything that I have, matching socks and everything, and I say, okay, I'm going to need this many socks. I'm going to need this many, undergarments or whatever. I'm going to need, because I don't know I didn't know what I was going to wear this morning until late last night. But I guarantee you there's 4 other things in my closet that will not have been touched during this trip. So the point of the story is lots of bags. So I was going to have a suitcase, a carry-on, that brown bag to carry books and notebooks with, and a garment bag. That's not that much, is it, for 3 days? Well, did you all see my red jacket yesterday that I was wearing? Yeah? Well, I've got a blue one, too. And I've got a coat. So here's the thing. I just had a lot of stuff to do. And so 6:30, well, I had a journal before, after my wife left, I had to feed the puppies. I kind of stretched out on the couch. Yes. I kind of had to meditate on the trip. And I thought, well, I have to, and the airport's not that far away, so it doesn't really matter, or not doesn't matter, but if I get there about, I don't know, a certain time, my wife texts, and then I was going to go get a steamer. Anybody ever use a steamer when you're traveling? Just to steam your clothes? Because like my coat, I can't iron. So I determined for my last trip that I was going to get a steamer, but I didn't get it by that time. So I thought, I got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond that morning. But I actually didn't go. I started to go, but I didn't go. Okay. So I come back.
But you have a shower in your room and a closed.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work. I tried it. You know what's really cool here is they have those. Have you seen the fancy mirrors? The middle part doesn't steam up. So where's my steam? It's not working for me. Okay, so my wife texts me and she says, what time are you getting a Lyft or an Uber? I said, they're coming about 11-ish. She said, don't you have to be there by 2 hours in advance? But the ticket or whatever I read said an hour for domestic flights. I don't know if that's true. So I figured I had to be there about 11:40, 11:45. No problem, right? So how many of you do curbside check-in? No? I always do curbside check-in. It is the easiest. You take the bags right out of the car, the taxi, or whatever, and you walk like 6 feet. Here it is. That's it. None of this lugging, carrying, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, they didn't have curbside check-in, so touch point. That's my first touch point. And I was happy. I was excited. I was focused. I was feeling hurried, but not too bad, right? But I was feeling a lot of these different things over the course of the next hour. So, let me gather the thought. So we get to the airport, no curbside check-in. I'm a little irritated. How come nobody said irritated? I was a little irritated. I walk up to the counter. Oh, and I didn't know how to use the kiosk to print the boarding pass. I'd never done that before because I usually save it to a flash drive, go to Office Max, and print it out the day before. But I didn't do that. And actually, you couldn't save it. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay. So, what's this got to do with customer service? Huh? Okay, so.
It's your story.
Pardon me?
It's your story.
It is my story. Question?
Did you have to go park too?
No, I took a lift. I took a lift. So I walked in and I wasn't really happy that there wasn't curbside check-in. And when I get to the counter, or I did ask somebody, they helped me print out my boarding pass, but I have all these bags. I had too much to carry. So suitcase bigger than that, the same color and everything, that on my shoulder, garment bag on my shoulder, and pulling like this, right? I know, I look like a nut. I didn't wear a fedora. When I travel, I don't wear the fedora. Okay. So, I get up to the counter, and there's like 5 or 6 of these staff hanging out. Just hanging out. There's no line or anything. Thank you, Lord. Fantastic for that. And I walk up, and I say, hey, I noticed there's no curbside check-in. And the guy comes over and says, yeah, sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't have it. And I said, I'm not laughing. I mean, I'm not, right? And so I come up to there, and I get my bags. So I've got my suitcase, and I've got my carry-on, and I've got this garment bag on my shoulder, and I just put the suitcase on there, and I see that there's no, address tags. So there's none of those. And then we're still kind of having this little conversation about well, sometimes, but because of the weather and this and that, the curbside, and okay. And before I know it, my bags have been checked. And then I say, no, that's not it. And it's going down the chute with my laptop right in here. Not a cheap laptop. And I say, now here, I will say complete owning responsibility. It was my fault. Because I put the 2 wrong bags on there, but they didn't communicate. They did not confirm with me. I've never traveled anywhere where they didn't say, oh, Mr. Wyman, how many bags are you checking? Are these the bags you were checking? Is that normal procedure?
Did anyone give you anything unknown?
Right, did anybody slip anything, any hazardous material, anything in there that we don't want on the plane? Nothing.
Somebody put a mouse.
Nothing. Did you pack all your bags or your wife? So there goes my bag. Whoa, down the chute with the laptop. And I thought, oh my gosh, we need to get that bag. I need to get the bag back. So, oh, well, sir, this young girl who's, find out it's like her first week or first month or whatever. Do we care? Do we want to know that?
No.
My first week, you're working. Are you getting first week pay? Come on. Right? Yeah, there's no wow on this yet. Okay, so I'm talking to the clerk who actually, and here it is, apathetic, unconcerned, just kind of like waiting for the next passenger. And then here comes over somebody, and like I said, there's 4 or 5 of them, and I'm the only person there. And I'm not irate or anything, but that is me. I'm that woman up in the corner, like, okay, we got to figure this out, right?
Yeah.
And I say, okay, so what do we do? Who do you talk to? Like, can we walkie somebody? Can you call down? There's obviously, because I thought, there's guys down there catching the bags. They're coming down the chute.
Yeah.
There's somebody there, right? And then comes over this older woman, older than the young girl, and she says, that bag's not coming back. Nobody can get it. You can't get it. Once it's down, it's gone. You can't do it. And I thought, there's no way. I'm the only person ever that had the wrong bag go down. And she said, well, you can't do anything about it. I said, well, who's in charge? She said, I am. I'm the lead. And she starts to walk away. You're not leading anything here. Come on.
Leading the escape.
Right, and she just walks away, but she still is in view, and I'm talking to the others, like, okay, so what, because I believe there's resolution, there's solutions, there's possibilities, there's opportunities, right? Anything is possible, right? And so we exhaust all possibilities. There is somebody that has authority that can make a decision, stop the belt. I think all they got to do is stop the belt, send it the opposite direction, right, and let it shoot back up.
I'm waiting for you to say, which would have really put you in a worse position, But I'm waiting for you to say, oh, there's a bomb on that bag. In that
Right,
bag.
and it wasn't supposed to go to this terminal. No. I'm at the wrong place. Doing a job. No, that's bad. That's bad jokes. But it's funny. You all laugh. Great. Someone's going to walk out from here and say, well, you know that Christoff guy? I heard something about it. I mean, where does the name Christoff come from? Okay. All right. So, she's the lead. She's in charge. She tells me no. Then there's the others that are talking, and I say, well, you know, who can we call? What can we do? What can be done? Because, as I was saying, in your place of business, so I'm sharing this with you. Let's think about the 3 main points, right? 3 main points. Set the tone. Read your guest. This is a show. So did they set the tone? What kind of tone did they set? Not a good one. Did they read their guests? Yeah, they read and they're laughing, right? But they're not really reading, engaging, adapting, and adjusting. They're not delivering the wow. And maybe they thought it's a show. It's like, again, it's a show that it's at my, my expense, right? But I wasn't feeling that. And with the next points, we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of wow if we have time. But it has to do with the internal components. I mentioned the first point, right? If you have a service professional, if they have the right internal components, which has to do with, write these down, mindset, attitude, positive energy. They're in the book. Servant heart, commitment to excellence, and personal pride. I wasn't seeing any of that being displayed. So I'm thinking, I can't, it's like an $800 computer. I can't, and I also had business I had to do on my layover in Denver. So to me, it wasn't just, and I thought for a minute, well, am I just putting up, no, because it's going to be smashed. My laptop is going to be dead, right? And then we would all be standing here today, and I go, well, I don't know. I had a PowerPoint, right? Or would you say, or stolen?
Or stolen.
Yeah. So here comes a couple of there's one young clerk that comes over and talks to the original first girl. And I did not shout at her or anything, but I was, aggravated. And I know it was my fault. But in our places of business, it can't be about blame, right? It can't be about what the customer didn't know. That doesn't matter. I was wrong, and yes, I admitted it. But now we have to get to the point of solution resolution. It's an emotional journey. That's what my second book is. I am the customer experience. None of those people at that point had embraced that they were the customer experience, that they were in charge of the touch points, that they were engineering an emotional journey. They were just not even observant. So one person says to the young lady, well, call whatever she said. I don't even know what she said. And that person said, oh, okay, who's that? And how do I do that? And so they're fumbling, looking like, I don't know, there's a number here. So they were making an attempt. But let's talk about, Marcus Lemonis, right? The prophet, he talks about people, product, and process. There was no process, right? And if there was a process, they didn't know about it. So they tried to call somebody, and I don't even know if this took 2 minutes or if this was 10 minutes. I have no idea. Because now I'm in this time warp, right? You have all experienced this to some degree in some way. And I'm just now thinking, I'm going to miss my flight. I don't have money to pay for another flight, whatever the charge is. Or I don't know how late I'm going to show up on Tuesday, or whatever the case may be, right? And as we're talking, I said, well, who's in charge? And I said, can I talk to the manager? Who's the supervisor? And they said to me, oh, whatever her name was, she didn't even say her name, the lead. She said, oh, well, she just went to talk to the manager. What? So she's over there advocating on my behalf or trying to find a resolution, but she didn't say, oh, Mr. Wyman,
Let me try
hold
to help
on.
you.
Let's see what we can do. She just said, I'm the lead, nothing you can do about it. And walked away and left me there, stranded. So here it comes, all of a sudden, Sarah, the manager. She comes out and she says, now Sarah did a really great job overall, but a couple things. I don't even think she introduced herself. I did the first greeting again. Hi, I'm Christoff. Here's what's going on. She said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to go find the bag. See, I knew there was a way. I knew there was a possibility, right? But then she's looking at the time. And I said, but now listen, I haven't been through security yet, so should I just go run through security and you just meet me up there with the bag? Of course, she can't bring my bag to me, right? She said, no. Here's what you need to do. You need to go downstairs to the baggage claim, carousel 22, and wait. That's me. So I stand down there. There's no other flights coming, thank God. So I wasn't like sifting through bags or anything. But I'm just looking at this empty belt and looking at the time. Then I texted my wife. I said, they lost my bag. I don't even know if I said they lost my bag. I said, I sent the wrong bag, checked the wrong bag or whatever. I'm waiting for the baggage. And then a few minutes later, she's at the hospital. She runs the ICU. She said, you're stressing me out. I shouldn't have told her. So I go down there and I wait and I wait. And I think, I mean, can you imagine? That's just one picture. I don't know what she had to go through, Sarah, to find the bag, And then she said, what does the bag look like? Okay, this is the bag. What's it look like? Huh? Black, and
It's unique.
it's unique. A black and white bag, black with flowers, right? White with flowers. But if you thought white with flowers, is that what you would expect to see?
No.
You said a black and white bag.
Beige.
Who knows? But it's not easy to describe. I have a perfect tip for you, and if you walk out after this, I have done my job. You ready? Write this down. When you travel, take a picture of all your bags. I am not kidding. That is the biggest value, one of the biggest values I got out of this. What's our time?
11:13.
11:12. All right, 50 minutes. So, I'm down there waiting. And so I'm hopeful. We didn't write that down, but now I have hope. And I always had hope. Most of you in here are positive-minded, right? And you believe that there's opportunity. And maybe there's greater reason. You know what the greater reason of the story is? So that I can share value with you. This happened to me. My wife said, how many of you believe in the universe, the energy, the secret? Right? So my wife will often say things like, well, you attract these things to you. I think, well, no, I'm not being negative. I'm not doing... But you know what? Now I just learned from this experience. Like when I was sitting in my hotel room that next night. Yes, I did get here. I'll tell you that in a story in a minute. But I realized I do attract these things to me so that I can be a better communicator of these principles. Because if I just told you stories of great customer service, you would all say, well, that's awesome. Right? But this makes you more engaged and helps you. Are you thinking about your business or your places when you've experienced this, either on the service side or as a customer? Are you kind of relating this to things that you have experienced or seen or observed? Okay. So I'm down there waiting, and I wait. And I wait. And then all of a sudden, here comes a Frontier baggage agent. But so I'm standing about here, and she stands back. She appears about right where Ron is standing. And she's where's my phone? Somebody taking pictures. So she's 25 feet away from me, and she's texting. There's no other flights. There's no other bags. And I think, oh, well, she's here to ensure that I get the bag, which is great. But she doesn't come over and say, you're Mr. Wyman? Yes, you're Mr. Wyman. Okay, great. I'm Alicia. I'm with Frontier Airlines. I'm with baggage claim. I'm in communication with Sarah. She is now halfway down the pile of the bags, and she's going to find your bag, right? None of that. So she's not giving me assurance. She didn't set the tone, again, and she didn't read me. Well, she read me. I guess she just didn't want to engage, right? So I had to engage and introduce myself. Oh, yeah, you're waiting for a bag. Yes, okay, cool, God bless you. So, I'm feeling hopeful, I'm feeling excited, I'm feeling worried, I'm feeling hurried, I'm looking at the time, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm ticking it down, and I'm thinking now, okay, even if the bag comes out right now, we still got to run up to security, not run through security, that would be a bad thing, go through security, run to the tram, get on the tram, ride the tram, run to the gate. And the time is ticking. I don't even know. I have like a text timeline that I can see. Okay, so are you with me? Is this good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Only half of you. That's cool. In baseball, if you do more than 50%, you're awesome. I got half the room. I love it. You're also awesome. Okay, and like I said,
It's real life, though.
I only told this story yesterday, so it's not like I have all the pieces like, oh, and then this, and then this. It's like I'm bringing it out, and there's still some emotion obviously attached to it, right? So it's not just something that happened 10 years ago. Let me explain. So we're waiting. Then she says to me, I like your socks, by the way. She says, no, and I don't have HDTV or whatever you guys call that. 2 people. Very good. She says to me, well, I'm talking to Sarah. She says, as soon as the bag comes, she's going to run with you to security, escort you through, and everything's going to be great. Okay, perfect, fine. I love it. It's fantastic. Waiting. All of a sudden, the bag drops down, well, actually, very slowly. Like it appears at the top of that chute, and then, like, it's only like a 4-foot drop or whatever, and it's just going. Come on. I don't know if I jump up on there, then I'm going to go around, right? So all of a sudden, the bag finally drops. I grab the bag, and I go, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Alicia. Tell her, and I go, oh my God, it's the wrong bag. They give me the suitcase. How are you sending me the suitcase to put on as a carry-on? This is a white and black bag with flowers, the first one they saw. We go walking into Alicia's office, and she says, okay, come here. And she tries to call some number, but then she has to go in another room because she didn't know who to call. I don't even know what she did. So we're there for, I don't know, it might have been 36 seconds, but it might have seemed like 4 minutes or whatever, and I'm looking. Now, here's what happened. Before I got the bag, I wanted to be prepared. Remember what my wife texted to me?
Yeah.
What? No, you're stressing me out. I'm not going to be happy until you're on the plane. Let me know. So I set up a pre-text. I had a text ready to go so that when I grab the bag, it says, honey, I got the bag, going to security. So as soon as I grabbed the bag, I hit send, and off it went. She got the message. I got my bag. I said, no, that's the wrong message because it's not true. And so here we are, and I'm waiting. So we go back to the office. She takes that other bag, and she now has to send that bag back. And here I am again, right there, waiting for one lonely bag. And we wait, and time is ticking. 11:40, the doors close. Now it's about 11:27, something like that. And finally the bag comes down. It's the right bag. And I grab it. And I don't know what Alicia did. She was helpful, but in a moderate, minimal sort of way. I'm grateful, but there's so many things they could have done differently. So here I take my bag and I go to the elevator upstairs. We go running towards security, and here's Sarah, 20 feet ahead of me. She says, come on, let's go! And we're running. Now look, I consider myself a young guy, but even if I'm not considered young, I am fit, right? What if this was my mom and her husband, George? My mom is 75, George is 96. And they were told, there's nothing we can do, that bag is gone. The average, you can tell I'm probably outspoken, right? But most customers would say, okay, how much is that computer? And how much is this? And what are we going to do? And then they're going to get on their plane and not go through what I went through just because, right? And so we have to be advocates for our customers and not, and the other thing is when she said, we're going to take you to security, I thought once I get off the elevator, there's going to be one of those, airport golf cart van thing, people mover things. No, here's Sarah running, and I'm running. So we run to security. And then we almost ran through security because she's got a swipe badge or whatever. And then the TSA, TSA they don't care. They didn't care. So she quickly looked at my boarding pass. Then we still have to, I thought, we just get to go through. No, shoes, belt, everything, pants, whatever. Take it off, bracelet, everything.
TSA free.
Right? So there's an open line right here, and there's 4 people right there. And so I put all my stuff in the bins, right? And then when I get all these, and then of course I have my laptop with my bag, all the, shoulder bag over there, all these different things. So about 5-6 bins. And when I get them all full, the TSA agent says, okay, when you get them done, you got to go on the other conveyor belt. So I got to take these over to the other side. Down, and then we get out of security, run to the tram, get on the tram. Now here's Sarah and I are sitting and talking for like, I don't know, 30 seconds. She says, you know, I said, I did not intend to create a lot of excitement for your team this morning. That was not my intention. And she said, you know, I really enjoy when I have a problem presented to me and I have an opportunity to solve it or come up with a resolution. Thank God that I had Sarah. And then we got there and she had messaged the gate, and I got on the plane at 11:45, 5 minutes after doors were supposed to close. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my story.
But were you penny wise and pound foolish for taking Frontier? Are you never going to take them again?
Well, I don't know, because Sarah was
Sell
my
them
hero.
for speaking services?
Right, well, there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities there. What's her name?
We've got
5 minutes. So, yesterday they were doing yoga next door to the room that I was presenting in. How many were in the yoga? That was a nice mix of sound and sound and energy, right? Everybody relax. Set the tone. Read your desk. Okay, so what is WOW? What is WOW customer service? What are the qualities of WOW? How many of you have ever in your whole life experienced something that you would consider a WOW experience? Not necessarily just customer service, but just a WOW experience.
Actually, it was at a different Hilton hotel.
Oh, okay.
In Virginia. I mean, they were absolutely fabulous. They found out that my birthday had been 2 days before. They delivered this, delicious chocolate dessert to my office, and they were like, ma'am, if there's anything we can do for you, please feel free to call on us. So it was just a great experience.
Awesome. I'm going to run through these slides very quickly because there's a few main points I want to get to. But to me, the qualities of WOW in any arena are unordinary, unexpected, not common. Would you agree with that? Exceeding expectations. There's a lot of things that we could say, but certainly it's not commonplace, right? But I believe in customer service, it should be commonplace. So that if we use the restaurant arena, there should be little pockets of WOW happening all over the place and consistently, right? Because I believe that every service professional, if they have the right internal components and have the proper tools and training, they can consistently deliver WOW. Not always, and WOW is not perfection, right? But it's about setting the tone for sure. Setting the tone is so important for me because setting the tone, once we've established a rapport and we are now engaged, as Jeff would say, to some degree, and it's not transactional, but it's relational, then whatever happens, we can deal with. If they had set a different tone at the counter with me, somebody said to me yesterday after they heard my story, they said to me, if they had set a better tone and then gave you the information that it's lost, it's gone, would you have responded differently? I said, well, I don't think so, because I still believe that there's a resolution that is possible. Because they didn't exhaust all possibilities. But still, it certainly would have calmed me, and I wasn't jumping up and down, but I was inside. I was just like, I don't know, what am I doing? What am I going to do, right? So it would have calmed me and made it a lot easier for everybody, setting the tone. What's the effects on the customer if we do have WOW service? Lasting memories, feeling important, happy, loyal, engaged, right? And the effects on the business, I already told you, 5 stars equals 5 Rs. That's the bottom line. Just saying it in a different way. What are the effects on the giver? Because we always talk about customer service from the point of view of the business, the effect on the business, and the effect on the customer. Customer, business. What about us as service professionals? So when you have delivered amazing service in your place of business, what does it do to you? What's the effect upon you? Anybody?
It makes you proud.
Makes you proud. I believe it. Absolutely.
Yeah, happy.
Happy.
Rewarding.
Rewarding.
Rush.
Pardon me?
Dopamine rush.
Dopamine rush. Oh, I have a slide that we're not going to really spend a lot of time on, but it's awesome. Effects on the giver. Pride. Sense of satisfaction, emotional connection with the customer, right? So it's beyond what's happening in the physical. Do you all understand that we are emotional beings? We are energetic beings. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
You're going to love tomorrow night. My presentation. That's all I'm going to say. Well, yeah, at the banquet.
Tonight.
Oh. Better check your schedule.
Don't go tomorrow night, because we'll all be at home.
Okay, this is another point that I really would like you to remember. The end result or desired outcome of any service interaction is always a what? Positive feeling. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, we want them to buy more. Yes, we want them to be repeat customers. But at the end of the day, and I don't ever use that phrase except just right now, the end result really is truly a positive feeling. That should be what we are after, because it will translate into those other 5 R's. Would you agree? So, because of that, you should always be asking you, be quiet. I mean, pardon you, not be quiet. Don't shout it out. It's not what you think. Please. We're going to get in trouble. This is on tape. Always please be asking yourself this question. What does it say? WTF. Yes, there's not words there. Those are letters. WTF. What does WTF stand for? What does WTF stand for?
I know that.
The answer is on the board or on the screen. Come on.
Wow,
It's not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's not Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Come on, creative. Put that watch back on the other arm so you'll be more creative. Stretch yourself. WTF. All right, I'm gonna say this, and then you'll get it. The desired outcome, end result of any what? What? What's the feeling? Tell me your name again. Erica. Woo-hoo! Erica. Getting to wow? Or I'm the customer experience? A or B? A or B?
you hit.
Getting to wow.
Okay.
That's a sample copy. I'm not teasing you. You're just giving your information. I'll send you a free book. Woo-hoo! All right. What's the feeling? What's the feeling? If you ask yourself from the very beginning, when the guest, customer, client walks in, when you have first interaction, first engagement, and you say, what's the feeling? And you keep that in mind, set the tone, read your guests all throughout the whole time. What's the feeling? And you can have a positive influence upon them. Do you know that? That we have such positive, such powerful influence, potential as leaders in our community, in our businesses. Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Awesome. How do we get to wow? 4 pillars of wow. Internal components. Skills, techniques, and knowledge. Guest-centric mentality. And creating a culture of wow. So, internal components. The next slide is all about internal components, but it's exactly what you can imagine it to be. It's the things on the inside. It's the mindset, the heart set, right? It's those 5 things that I told you a moment ago. Mindset, attitude, and passion. In fact, the first 5 chapters, not really a commercial, but sort of a commercial. The first 5 chapters of this book has nothing to do with actually serving the guests, serving the customers. It all has to do with the internal components. Each chapter is one of those internal components. First one is mindset, attitude, passion, MAP. I put them together as one. Mindset, attitude, positive energy. I apologize. Mindset, attitude, positive energy. Next one is passion. Do you agree that you must have passion to be successful in your business? If you are in an industry, if you're in a job, if you're in a position that you are not passionate about some aspect of it and not just the money, then you need to probably get out. And we find that in so many. Do you work with people, or have you worked with people that probably shouldn't be doing what they're doing?
Yes.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of passion. What's the definition of passion? It's what you're willing to sacrifice for, or what you would do if you didn't get paid for it. You know, the movie The Passion of the Christ, it's not about romance. We now use this term to mean romance, but it really is what you are willing to give up for something. Passion. Servant heart. I find that so remarkable in a not so positive way, that people are in the service industry who have say phrases like, "I'm not their servant." And I'm not saying you must be a servant in terms of letting them walk all over you, because we teach people how to treat us, but we must have a servant heart, and especially as leaders. John Maxwell says a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. A boss is somebody who says, "Okay, you all go over there," right? But we have to have a servant heart. If we don't, then it's just mechanics. If we don't, then we're just doing the second pillar, which is important. Every one of us are in a job, a position, a business where there are certain required skills and techniques and knowledge, correct? Not just anybody can do the job that you do. Would you agree? But most of the time, I find in onboarding, we focus on that, the second pillar. Yes? And we say that I hear people say, "Well, we hire for attitude." How? How are you testing that attitude in a 30-minute application or interview process? Now, what Mark was talking about yesterday from Chick-fil-A, he put on that little 3-sentence mission statement, and he said, "We put this out there, and if it doesn't resonate with people, then we're not even going to, most of the time, have those people coming to apply to us." So it's those internal components that have to be expressed. And those are just 5 that I'm mentioning to you. I'm sure there's others, but there's a difference between having a mission statement and really having a deep, heartfelt theme or whatever word you want to use. Are you with me? Are you getting this? Yes. Okay. So, next one, guest-centric mentality, guest-focused. A lot of times we see people skipping over to that being their main pillar. So they're guest-focused. So again, in the restaurant industry, you're sitting in my restaurant and you say to me, "Oh, what's in that Dijonnaise sauce?"
What's in that Dijonnaise sauce?
You want to? Okay, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. Okay, I'm gonna find out for you. Hey, customer is so important. We got to make sure that we're customer focused. What's in that sauce, or whatever, right? So they're customer focused in their mindset, supposedly, and in their action, their words, but they don't even have the knowledge that they need to have. But they're all about the customer. Does that make sense? Have you ever experienced this? Right? And the 4th one is creating a culture of wow. So, if we want to internalize these things, real simple, real easy. You ready? Internal components. 1, 2, 3, everybody. Hello? Internal components. Good morning. Internal components. Internal components. Skills, techniques, and knowledge. Doing the thing, right? Skills, techniques, and knowledge. It's fun, right? Yes. Okay. Guest-centric mentality.
Guest-centric mentality.
Awesome. Guest-centric mentality, and then creating a culture of wow. That's putting it all together. That doesn't mean being crazy. That's putting it all together, right? Where the culture is from the top down and from the bottom up. Those are the 4 pillars. Awesome. Is that good? Yes, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Internal components. We already talked about that. Which of these people would you like to be served by? Which of these people have you been served by? All of them? Yeah, I like that one. I'll be with you in a minute. I'm engaging you. I'll be with you in a minute. And then the other one who's just like, don't even care. Personal pride, commitment to excellence. Okay, we're just going to go right past this. Event creates an experience, which makes an impression and a memory. And every day we have the opportunity, all of us, to create lasting memories for our clients, our customers. And it depends upon us how those memories are. Some of them are fleeting, some of them are lasting. If they're lasting, they hopefully are going to be positive, right? But we do have so much influence. I think that we don't always realize that because we focus on the physical realm, right? And we have to. We focus on the operations, but I'm encouraging us to get to a different mindset, a different level, because you will soar in your business. And if maybe this is new for some of you, maybe it's just a reminder, maybe it's something you've heard before, but you haven't really engaged or opened yourself to. But I know from my experience, when you approach it like Jeff was saying, is it heart or head? No, it has to be both, right? Yes, yes? Okay, Polly, here you go. Happiness chemicals, and I can't spend a lot of time on it, but there are happiness chemicals that course through our body at different times, and there are things that affect and influence that. And we as human beings, we are actually wired to do good for people. Do you know that? When you do, what's that?
The disease to please.
The disease to please, yes. And when we do great things for others, so again, using the restaurant industry, how many of you ever worked in a restaurant? A couple, some of us, okay. It's not the easiest job in the world, but you know, they talk about being slammed and in the weeds, and you can have this shift where it goes on for hours and hours and hours, and it's like almost controlled chaos, and everything is just on the verge of collapsing, and you're like just not stressed, but like just at this level. And then when you're all done, you don't go home and collapse. Oftentimes in the restaurant business, you go home or you go out and party, or you go out dancing, or you go to the gym. Why? Because you got endorphins running through your body. And when you are, and we all have this, you know, there's a high when you give great service to clients, to customers, right? Are we done, Wes?
You've got
Right here.
7 minutes.
Couple minutes.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I should be paying attention to you. So these are so endorphins. The second one is serotonin. But you have to say it like this. Serotonin. Serotonin. We'll talk more about this next time. And then there's dopamine.
Whoops.
Okay. There's dopamine and oxytocin. Feelings of love and trust, oxytocin. So here's what's very interesting. How many of you are on Facebook? How many of you post pictures of your puppies, cats, children, grandchildren, videos of your puppies? I do. I put videos of Bruno on there. How many of you, as soon as you put a post, you quickly check back to see how many likes, shares? So do you know that doing that, I can explain this properly.
So people to watch 60 Minutes last Sunday.
Did they talk about that?
Yep.
So people talk about people who are addicted to social media,
Yeah.
but it could be addicted not addicted in a positive way, but it actually is releasing oxytocin into your body. You know, I put a video of Bruno, my little chihuahua, on Facebook, and I check back, oh wow, 37 views. I'm getting that feeling, that rush, right? And I check back again, 12 shares. And that's what's happening. So why do I share this with you? Well, if we could understand the power of recognition and what that can do, then we can incorporate that with our team, right? Giving them positive affirmations, recognition. It does the same thing. It releases oxytocin into your body, into your bloodstream. It's a feel-good chemical. Pretty cool, right? I could spend a long time on this, but we're not going to. How are you making your customers feel? Now think back to my airport story. Ready? How many of those things do you think I was feeling? I was experiencing. Overlooked, neglected, forgotten, disrespected, disregarded, dismissed, taken for granted, stressed, discouraged, frustrated. All of them. And the opposite, welcome. And it's just 2 words. There's synonyms for all of them, right? What if your guests, your clients, your customers felt this because of you? I love those words. Look at the last one. If your customers felt celebrated, wow. What would WTF? Right? It's not about Wisconsin. Sorry, you missed it, Wes. So there in the middle is Sarah. She's the one who saved me, and then that's me minutes after getting on the plane. And I don't even know her last name. I know how to find her. How many of you, here's a completely random thought, but how many of you actually have some kind of follow-up system besides email for your customers? Okay. So I have a system that I also use, which is where you can actually put a picture on a greeting card and send it off without even going to the post office, without touching the card itself, and attach a gift to it. Sarah will be getting a card and gifts, a big box of cookies or brownies for her team. Even for the ones that said, no, it's gone. But if you're interested in knowing about that system, it can greatly increase your referrals in your business. All right, we are almost done, my friends. Two things. I've kind of been alluding to it, but I really believe that thank you. We're really good, and I appreciate it. I really believe, and I've been talking a little bit about, is that there's actually a spiritual aspect of service. And it's not about being at church or about what religion you are or what faith you have. But I believe that if we make that connection and we allow ourselves, what did I say earlier, that one of my goals and my purposes is my desire to be a channel of blessing and a channel of positivity. And, you know, if we can get beyond just what's happening on the transactional level with our customers, with our clients, you know, when I teach at the Bartenders Union in Las Vegas, I always ask the students, why do people come to your bar? What do you think the first answer is?
To drink.
No, not even to drink. What's the past tense? To get drunk. To get drunk. And I think, yeah, maybe. But why is it? Why are they getting drunk? Is it just because they want to get drunk? Or are they celebrating? Are they happy? Are they lonely? Are they sad? Do they have a family member that's celebrating 10 years cancer-free? Do they have a loved one that just passed in the war or came home safely from the war? There's something going on a deeper level with every one of our customers, all of our clients. And I'm not saying that we give them a 21, question survey and said, please give me, the answer to these deep emotional questions. But can we know what's happening, what our customers are thinking and feeling? Can we? Some say yes, some say no. I say yes. Maybe not the exact details, but the external, what's happening on the outside is a reflection of what? The reflection of what? What's on the inside, right? But we really have to make this conscious effort. And as we do that, so I say there's a spiritual impact to what we do when we deliver wow service to our customers, clients, etc. And so fill in the blank. You are doing so much more than, if I was talking to hotel and restaurant people, I would say you're doing so much more than, delivering food. You're doing so much more than just crafting amazing cocktails. You're doing so much more than even creating an exceptional dining experience. But you have the opportunity to influence them on a deeper level. You're ministering to their spirits. You're bringing them joy and happiness, if you choose to, if you approach it from that manner. And you're creating positive feelings, being a channel of blessings, and it all comes back to you. All of it. The positivity, the happiness chemicals, as I call it. All of those. Pardon me? Karma. Yes, some of us got to listen to Arjun the other day. Karma with our customers. And even financially. I mean, we don't even have to mention that part, right? So, I would like to, so there's a recap. And we're going to stand. But before we do that, I'm going to skip over this slide. And I'm going to ask if you would all stand up for a moment. Stand up, please. I do have an opportunity for you to come and meet the author, and I'll be the author after this session. My books are available, and we always give $3 to Three Square, our local food bank, for every copy we sell. But if you would take out your phones, and if you found, how many of you felt inspired by my presentation today? Yes? Challenged? More hands going up. Empowered? Did you feel value from what we shared today? Yes. If you did, I would humbly ask if you would be interested to do a short review. And if you haven't connected with Ron and what his service can do for your business, I highly recommend that. So if you would like to write down this number and text it, and it will send you an invitation. Here's what happens. Not only is it helping the person you're doing a review, but you actually get free publicity on their site. So you tell who you are, what you do, what your website is, what's your company, and your review and what you say will go on the Sotella site. Cool? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know we've got 1.5 minutes past. I know we're past. Is everybody okay? This is our end. This last sheet that I asked you to put upside down is called I Am the Customer Experience. I would like to invite you all to read it together with me. And we'll put that other one back on the screen. But I would like to invite everybody to take the sheet. Are you with me? Okay. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I just did, but I'm going to do it again. And then we're going to read the headline, and then each line after that. With big enthusiasm, yes? Yes. And then strong. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I am customer experience. I am the face of my business. What my customers experience with me is what their perception of our business will be. I choose to be positive and upbeat at all times. I forego complaining and speaking negatively. Instead of excuses, I focus on solutions. I greet all my customers in a welcoming manner, setting the tone for a positive experience. I treat all my customers with kindness and respect. I recognize that my customers have many choices of establishments to patronize. I am grateful they have chosen our place of business to enjoy. I seek to work in harmony with my whole team, realizing that what each of us says and does always affects each other and our customers. I am mindful that all customers are not the same. I seek to read my customers, learn their needs, and adjust my approach and service to them. My customers' well-being and satisfaction is always my #1 priority. I commit to be fully prepared for each day mentally, physically, and emotionally. I leave my personal problems outside of work. I show up to work on time and well-groomed. This is the show. I am always on stage. I am well-informed on our company's offerings of products and services. I am here to serve. I am in the business of creating positive memories for my customers. I strive daily to be the best service professional that I can be, understanding that I am customer experience. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I appreciate each of you. And if I can be of service in any other way, you're interested in a book or anything on that sheet, please come and see me. And if you can't make it to the table, just see me, between now and tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody.